Hey everybody, it's Matt with Everywhere Auto. Today what we're going to be working on is a 2016 Honda CR-V. We're going to be replacing the oil pan.
Alright, you can see I've got my wrench set on the belt tensioner right there. It's a 17 mil. And I'm going to pull the wrench towards the front of the vehicle, and then I'm just going to slip the belt off. All right, the next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna we're gonna remove whatever splash guards we have going on down here. And you see we've got these little clips. They've got the round part in the middle. And I like to take a screwdriver and pop the round part up. And you'll have different clips will be different difficulties, just depending on, you know, like that one just popped right out. That was easy. And then we have one more on this end. Oh, there's something else holding me on. Okay, you have two 12 mils on the bottom and two 12 mils on the top. Can't see it because I can barely see it with my naked eye, but yeah, boom, right up in there, right there. And then another one right there. You'll find it, trust me, it's there. And then there's an electrical connection, that one right there. Disconnect that. Take all 4 bolts out, disconnect that electrical connection, hang your compressor by wire. Okay, now this is the part where you would normally drain the oil. The drain plug is right there, and then the oil filter is right there. But the customer was nice enough to bring the vehicle in pre-drained of oil, so we're gonna skip that step. Okay, the next thing I did is I jacked up I just jacked up one side of the vehicle. I put my jack right here underneath the tow hook. And then I put my jack stand you see that little metal tab right there? That's where I put my jack stand. All right, the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take these bolts out right here. There's that. All right, the next thing we're gonna do is remove these two nuts right here.
All right, the next step is we're gonna take these 3 bolts out. There's that one, and there's that one, and then there's one on top that you can't really see. All right, so now we're gonna try and pull that dang exhaust down. I don't know how easy this is gonna be or not. All right, the next thing we're gonna do is we're not gonna remove this exhaust thing because I can't figure out how to get it out right now, so we're gonna skip that step. But the manual says it's supposed to come out. And right now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this lower torque rod out. Oh, those were actually for the mounting bracket, for the torque rod bracket. Those also have to come out, so it's not a big deal that we remove that right now. But yeah, we're trying to remove these 2 bolts and then this bolt right here. All right, now I'm taking this little black cover off. It's a 10 mil. I think it's 2 10 mils. Okay, and then there's another one, little bolt right there. Okay, now that's out of the way. Now we've got this bolt right here that you can't see because the exhaust is still in the way. And I still don't know how to get the exhaust out of here, so we're just gonna leave it till we figure it out. But there's a bolt right here, and then another bolt up in there somewhere. I think right. Yeah, okay, it's on the other side of this bracket right here. I'm gonna go ahead and remove those 3 bolts. All right, the next step we're gonna do is we're gonna loosen all the bolts for the oil pan. And I'm gonna throw up a diagram right here. Go ahead and loosen all those, take all those bolts out. Okay, I finally figured out how to get the exhaust out. What it is I pointed this end up into there, and then I took, so I had that end pointed up into there, and then I had this end, and I basically flexed it on the flex pipe, and it came out really easy. I was having a lot of trouble with it earlier, but the key is that you got to get that end up into that open space you can see from here. Yeah. So now we finally got the exhaust out of the way. I was having a lot of trouble with that. Okay, so right here you see my screwdriver is in a spot. I'm gonna throw up a diagram right now. And there's these 4 points right here where you're supposed to put a flat screwdriver and pry. And this is one of them. And we're gonna give it a shot and see if we can maybe get this thing loose. Okay, so I pried on it back here and it just popped off like a dang jump scare. And now it's just hanging here. And I wonder if it's just gonna slide right out. And yeah, looks like it is. I'm gonna get it over here onto my cardboard. Looks like it's got a little oil leaking from it. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and clean up the mating surface on the block. Okay, so right now what we're gonna do is we're gonna apply the gasket to our new oil pan. Now something important to note is that this little rubber O-ring, see our oil pan comes with a new one? Our old one was stuck on the mating surface inside of the bottom end of the motor. And if you look, you see how it's flat. Well, the new one is more rounded, so it's very important to have a new O-ring. So the first thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna take a little bit of brake cleaner. And then we have Honda Bond. And we're gonna go around all of here. And it's important to make sure that the Honda Bond goes on the inside of the little screw holes right here, the bolt holes. And we want a pretty thick bead, so I'm gonna go like 2 notches down. Now, any place that I'm not confident has enough Honda Bond there, I will go back and fill it in with more. You can't really use too much with this. Obviously, if you can get a really nice looking seal, that's the best. But what's more important is not leaking. And they don't really make the little bottle of Honda Bond. It's not easy to make this bead, because like if you look at the bead from the dealership, like if you look at what I peeled off, or not from the dealership but from the factory, that bead looked really nice. It was like super tiny, super clean. This is not gonna be that same thing. Like that's not gonna be thick enough. We gotta redo that. Got any tips? If you have any tips for getting the Honda Bond out of the container cleanly, I am open to suggestions. And I'm also trying to keep my fat head out of the way, so I'm not blocking the camera view. But you'll see what I do right now at the end. Like, I'm not gonna leave anything up to chance. This thing will not leak, because I'm not trying to do this job twice. And if it leaks, you better believe I'm gonna take it apart and do it again. Okay, so right now I'm just gonna look around and see how it looks. I'm just gonna get real thick with it in a couple spots. So like right here, it was a little thin. Okay, so I don't know how I got that stuff on my hands, but now it's on my hands. I don't think that's good, because this stuff is potent. It's potent. But right now what I'm going to do after I clean my hands a little bit, what I'm going to do is just spread this a little bit in places where it's a little high, and
The only reason I'm doing that is to make the most of what's there. Make sure it's not gonna leak. Right here, we're gonna go ahead and press this. Alright, I'm gonna put a little bit more on. Over here, because it's looking a little thin. Okay, so I ran over here and I snugged up all the bolts for the pan, got it in place because the Honda Bond dries really fast. So I wanted to get the pan installed before it got too dry. Now, Honda in the manual has a sequence, a tightening sequence, so we're gonna refer to that, and I'll put a screen. I'll put something up on the screen right now. Torque spec is 9 pounds. All right, the next thing, I'm gonna put these little guys on, and we're gonna torque them to 47 foot-pounds. Snug them down. Yeah. Snug them down. 47. All right, we're gonna take our little cover, install it. Oh no. No, come on. No. All right, there we go. All right, the next thing, we're gonna take our torque rod bracket. I'm gonna throw this in here. Oh no, I'm just gonna start by threading this first one in, threading the second one. I suppose you could put Loctite on these. The manual doesn't call for it. There's no Loctite on them. I'm not really worried about it. So
I'm just gonna torque it to spec and call it a day. Whoops, the torque of the ratchet twisted into the phone. And then with the last one, yeah, just gonna thread it back in. And the torque spec on this one, on these bolts, is 55 pounds.
Okay, and you see right here, I've got my jack supporting the engine block where the engine and the transmission meet, and I just have it jacked up a little bit.
Okay, now what we're gonna do is I threaded in my bolts for my torque rod, and I'm gonna start by just tightening them down.
Now these two bolts, you're gonna tighten these first. The manual makes this out like it's pretty important. So tighten these ones first. And we're gonna tighten these to 65 pounds.
And then this one, 69. Get a peek at what's going on. See if we can't just freaking make this thing go home. So I'm putting this end in first, and I think that's gonna make life a little bit better. Okay, so now we've got the exhaust just fitted on at both ends. And before I even put anything else back in, I'm gonna see if I can get my bracket fit up in there while everything is still loose. Oh yeah, that's gonna work perfectly. So this is gonna go this way. Here, I'll turn so you can see. Okay, got that one threaded in. no. Oh, the bracket's hard to get to.
Okay, so I got my 1/4" ratchet with a 14 on it to get in behind here. Okay, now we're gonna tighten up this front exhaust.
All right, next we're gonna install the nut on that stud right there, and then that one right there that you can't really see, and then that one up on top that you can just barely, right there. Go ahead and install those 3.
So the next thing you're gonna do, guys, you're gonna go ahead and put your drive belt on. You're going to install your oil filter, put oil in the vehicle, and then you're gonna start the vehicle up, look for leaks. As long as there's no leaks, go ahead and put your splash guard back on. You're all done. I hope this video helped you. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. Go ahead and like and subscribe if you haven't already. Keep an eye up the hill, guys.
And if the fall down is painful, I mean to blame.